Hey guys, it's Megan, and today I'm back with another 5 ways to fill your sketchbook video. This time, I thought it would be fun to do a back to school theme. Now, I'm actually not in school anymore. Like, I've done the whole DIY school supply thing, but at this point, it feels very, how do you do, fellow kids? So I figured that this year, I'd take sort of a more nostalgic approach and do this instead. Is nostalgic the right word? Honestly, I hated school. It was terrible. But in any case, let's just get into it. The first idea is to design a backpack. When I was looking for inspiration for this drawing, I realized that I must officially be old because I have absolutely no idea what's trendy anymore. My sister's in college, and I'm pretty sure that she has a Nike backpack. She's kind of like an athleisure girly though, so I don't know if that's like a popular thing or if that's just a her thing. When I was in school, it was the Vera Bradley backpacks. And I don't really think that those are popular anymore. I know the Can ones were popular a few years back, but I bought one to take on my trip to Disney World, like a full-size one, and that absolutely would not have made it through a whole school year. They barely fit anything. That's what I based this drawing on because I have one and I do like it, even though I can't fit like a water bottle in it. Like, it's very irritating. I'm trying to think of other backpacks that I had. I think in kindergarten I had like a Powerpuff Girl one, and my mom was really into the monogrammed ones from Land's End, so I had a couple of those. And I think I had a JanSport one at one point, and then in middle school I just carried around a Hollister tote bag because for some reason we decided the backpacks were dumb. And then in high school I had the Vera Bradley ones. When I was in school, my backpack was always a mess. I had to catch the bus at 7 a.m. and I was always forgetting something, so I always kept a bunch of extra stuff in there like makeup and deodorant. Which, speaking of deodorant, today's video is actually sponsored by Native. Native deodorant not only smells great, but it's also aluminum free, paraben free, vegan, and cruelty-free. I got their plastic-free deodorant. It uses the same formula as their regular deodorant, now with more sustainable packaging. It's not sticky at all, and this deodorant dries super quickly. I got their pina colada, coconut and vanilla, and cotton and lily scents. The pina colada scent is the perfect mixture of pineapple and coconut. I don't think that I've ever seen a pina colada scented deodorant before, and let me tell you, it smells awesome. This one's limited edition, so make sure to grab one before the end of summer. I also really like the coconut and vanilla scent. I think this one's my favorite. It kind of smells like this coconut cake that my mom makes. I got the cotton and lily scent from their sensitive range too. This line's made with magnesium oxide and coconut oil, and they leave out the baking soda for people with sensitive skin. I really like this one too. It has like a nice clean smell. Now, normally 3 plastic-free deodorants would be $39, but if you use my link and the code Megan Weller, you'll get them for $26, which is over 33% off. You can also use my code to get 20% off any body wash or toothpaste. Thanks again to Native for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to the drawing. Okay, so like I said before, I based this backpack off of one that I already have. I colored it blue and purple, and added a Stony Clover inspired M patch to the front pocket. Honestly, if I was gonna get a backpack now, I'd probably try to get something like more neutral so that it would match more, but like when I was in school, I did not care. I painted the background pink and added lines with a white paint pen to make it look like a brick wall. I decided I didn't like the green, so I painted over it with this tan color. And once everything dried, here's how my finished page turned out. I actually kind of like this one. It's something different, and I don't think that I've really drawn a backpack before. The next idea is to draw something that you wore on the first day of school. Okay, so for this one, I decided to do sort of an updated version of the outfit that I wore on the first day of 6th grade. Yes, I have pictures. No, I will not be showing them because no one wants to see that. Well, maybe you do, but I don't really know where they are, and also, we don't really need evidence of that on the internet. But believe me when I tell you, it was a look. You know how middle school is. Like, I don't know if this was a universal experience, but first and last day of 6th grade, I looked like a completely different person. But I remember, I wore this black shirt that had those like weird shutter sunglasses on it. That was a choice. And I paired it with purple Converse because I did not have black ones, and this plaid skirt from the Avril Lavigne collection at Kohl's. My mom never let me shop at like Limited 2 or Justice. Basically, the only place that she let us go was like Kohl's and maybe Walmart. You know, I love my mom, but she's one of those people, she dresses for comfort and not fashion. Although, I have no room to talk because look at these shoes that I just bought. Like, they're so ugly, but like, they're so comfortable. I kind of wish that I would have kept some of this stuff because like, honestly, it might still fit, which that is not a flex because in 5th grade, I was kind of fat. But then when I slimmed down in 6th grade, apparently then I was too skinny. So like, moral of the story, you really cannot win. I don't know why I picked this specifically. Middle school is a time that I would really rather not remember. It's just one of those moments that's like so bad that it was the first thing that came to my mind. And I feel like the next couple years after this, I pretty much just wore some kind of variation of some like lacy Hollister top, which arguably is a better look, but it's not nearly as memorable. I updated the outfit by making the skirt high-waisted and doing a plain black shirt instead of a graphic tee. I added some jewelry with neon beads to kind of like pay homage to the sunglasses on the shirt. I was gonna have her wearing the actual sunglasses, but you're not allowed to wear sunglasses in school, so I decided against that. I didn't really feel like doing a whole background for this page, so instead I traced this bucket that I had to make a circle and filled it in with some paint that was left over from the last page. And once that dried, here's how my finished page turned out. I know this just kind of looks like a basic girl if you don't know the story behind it, but she's cute, and I think this is a good way to practice drawing people. Idea number 3 is to create a page inspired by something that you learned in school. Okay, so this one's kind of random, but hear me out. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have never been super great at math. I did okay until about like 8th grade, but don't ask me anything beyond that because I don't know. But when I was in 3rd grade, we learned about greater than and less than signs. And I remember that my teacher had these like alligator cutouts up above the board, and how she taught us to remember it is that the alligator eats the bigger number. And so for the past however many years, every time I see one of those symbols, that's what I think of. So long story short, I've never drawn an alligator before, so I decided to draw one. I drew this alligator that's on the road, and he's eating the interstate sign because that's the bigger number. Except you might have noticed by now, 10 is not the bigger number. See, I told you, math is not my thing. Don't worry, I did fix it later. Real talk, my brain has just not been working lately. You know who this also reminds me of is a Graveyard Girl. You know, like at the end where she was always like, become a member of the swamp family and give an alligator its wings. I used to love her. Like, she was one of the people that made me want to be a YouTuber. I still love her, but like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't watch her as much anymore, and I don't know why, because I got some of her videos in my recommended recently, and like, they're so good. I love her. I watched this one where she made a lava lamp lip gloss. I thought that was pretty cool. Which also, can we talk about how messed up that YouTube recommendations have been lately? I've been getting the most random stuff. Like, I never get recommendations from anyone that like I'm actually subscribed to. But did you know that there were multiple Duck songs? Thanks, YouTube. That would have been nice to know 10 years ago, but it really does not do me any good now. Okay, that's a lie because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyways, I painted the background. I really did not do anything fancy with it. I just did a solid gray for the road, green for the grass, and blue for the sky. I did add a couple clouds since I had some extra paint anyways. I used a Posca pen to finish up the signs, and here's how the finished page turned out. Let me know in the comments, what was your least favorite subject in school? I'm pretty sure mine was history. Idea number 4 is to color a drawing with highlighters. Okay, so pretty sure I actually used this idea in a video way back when, probably in like 2018, but you know what? I already drew it, and this is what, like episode 31 of this series, so let's face it, this was bound to happen eventually. But I do think that it's always fun to challenge yourself to use supplies that you might not normally reach for. Anyways, I did at least pick a different concept this time. I was trying to think about like a good way to use the neon colors, and the first thing that popped into my head was to do more of like a rave type outfit. Now, I'll be honest, I've never actually been to a rave. Is anyone surprised? No. Do I have any desire to go to one? Also no. I'm just not a fun person. I used to be really into the store Dolls Kill because, again, I was obsessed with Graveyard Girl, and I feel like a lot of their stuff kind of has that vibe, like you'd wear it to a rave or a music festival or something. So I looked at their website for inspiration, and I used this picture for reference. Guys, I am not ready for the low-rise stuff to come back. Like, the thing is, I could maybe pull it off like 2 weeks out of the month. If you know, you know. Being a woman is terrible, 0 out of 10. My art style tends to be pretty bright and colorful, like lots of purple, but my wardrobe is pretty like plain. For real though, working from home is great because I look like a literal gremlin 90% of the time and no one cares. But I also just don't buy clothes because it's like, no one will see me anyways, so what's the point? I have gotten a little bit better about it lately. The buying part, not so much the wearing part, because now I'm like, oh, it's new, I want to keep it nice and not get paint on it. So I still end up wearing the same ratty stuff. I feel like maybe my life would be a little bit less depressing if I actually got ready in the morning, but I'm just tired. Maybe I should get rid of the old stuff and then I'll be forced to look nice. Although, with my luck, I'd get rid of something and then it would be trendy again. Anyways, what are we talking about? Oh, the highlighter drawing, right. I thought about just coloring her skin like I normally would, but since this was a highlighter challenge, I just added some shadows and highlights with yellow, orange, and blue highlighters. I drew these butterfly wings in the background to sort of fill up the space behind her. I did this freehand. The goal was just to make the page as colorful as possible. I felt like the drawing ended up being a little bit too far to the right of the page, so I used a purple highlighter to draw a dashed line. I feel like you see these a lot when people draw butterflies to kind of represent movement. I finished the drawing by adding a few details with the silver gel pen, and here's how the finished page turned out. Definitely not the best thing I've ever drawn, but not the worst either. She sort of looks like a clown, but you know what? I'm here for it. The last idea that I came up with is to make a bookmark. You could draw something in your sketchbook and cut it out, or make one out of scrap paper like I did. First, cut a piece of paper that's 15 by 5.5 centimeters. Place this piece on top of a second sheet of paper so that the second piece of paper creates a diagonal line on the bookmark. Trace around the bookmark, then mark out 1 centimeter from the edge of the line that you just drew. Here's what it should look like when you're done. Now cut everything out. Fold this piece along the lines like this. I used my ruler to help me. Then cut out these 2 small squares. Place your bookmark inside of this piece, with the good sides facing down. Then glue the tabs to the back of the bookmark. Cut a second piece of paper that's 15 by 5.5 centimeters. I actually trimmed mine so that it was a tiny bit smaller than that, and glued that to the back. Here's what it should look like so far. Cut a piece of paper that's 13 by 4.5 centimeters to go inside the pocket. You might want to make a couple of these. This piece can slip into the pocket, and you can write anything that you want on it. I thought this would be a nice place to write down sketchbook ideas. I made a tassel for the end of the bookmark by wrapping some embroidery thread around 3 of my fingers about 20 times. I cut off the end, then cut a long piece of string and slipped it through the loops like this. Tie a double knot, then take a second piece of string and tie it around the tassel like this. Again, I like to make a double knot to make sure that it's secure. Cut the loops apart like this, then trim the end of the tassel to even it out. I added 3 beads to my tassel, then tied a couple knots so they wouldn't slide around. I punched a hole at the top of my bookmark, then tied on the tassel. Cut off the excess string, and that's it! These bookmarks work great in your sketchbook to write down drawing ideas. But you could also write down books that you want to read, or you could write down homework that you need to do. So that was everything for this video. Make sure to let me know which page was your favorite. I think my favorite was probably the alligator page. I kind of like that one because it was a little bit different from what I normally do. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Again, a huge thank you to Native for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check them out using the link below. My merch, my website, and all my social media will be linked down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye!